What's up, guys? It's your boy Milano Miguel, back at it again with another video. Today's episode 31 of season 2 of the AC Milan vlog series. So here we go. Here we go. So match day 31, Italian Serie A. It'll be Milan versus Genoa. If you're on American soil, you probably woke up at the crack of dawn for this game. And we know that usually when we wake up for the crack of dawn for these games, they don't go so well. Last 7 games of Serie A, every point counts. Some big matches going on this weekend. Atalanta, Juve, Inter, Napoli. So a much needed 3 points. Pioli went with the standard starting lineup. We had Donnarumma in goal, Kalulu, Kair, Tomori, Hernandez, Benacer, Kessié, Salmakers, Hakan Çalhanoğlu, Rebic, and because of Ibra's red card, we had Leao at striker. I think Milan opened up the game pretty well. Out of nowhere, Ante Rebic gets a goal, a clean hit volley. In the 13th minute, Milan go up 1-0. I think it was a really good finish from Rebic. You know, Rebic is capable of making these goals out of nothing. And it all comes from confidence, but he hasn't had the best of seasons. I think that, you know, his goal contribution for the team in the first half of the season wasn't the best, but he's starting to pick it up a little bit. I think Rafael Leao had his fair share of chances. He had this one chance where the ball was placed on him beautifully and he slipped away his shot. Didn't really go the way that you would think it should go. Like, Leao just couldn't get a clean strike on the ball, and if he did, it went straight into the keeper's hands. This is just one of those games where you would think that Milan would capitalize on all their opportunities, but it seemed like we couldn't string it together. I started to fear as if, you know, these opportunities that we're missing would come back to haunt us eventually. In the 37th minute, none other than Mattia Destro came back to haunt us once again, grabbing a goal off the corner kick. It was a silly goal for Milan to concede. Fikayo Tomori just wasn't really actively guarding his man, Destro, and Destro manages to get a free header and ends up in the back of the net. Milan picked their heads up halftime, and I think we played fairly well. Genoa didn't really do much. They didn't really create that many opportunities. They just had that one corner, to be honest, and they got lucky and got the goal. Second half, I think another good start for Milan. Ante Rebic had the opportunity to take Milan into the lead with a sitter, but completely rocketed that with his left foot. That would have just been an easy tap in, just roll the ball past the keeper or something, but he rocketed it. It's not okay for Rebic to be missing a sitter like that. Corner kick comes, Simon Kjaer gets his head onto it, but just wide of the post for Mattia Perin. Looked fairly sharp for Milan. We looked like we were trying to get that second goal, but nothing was really working out for us. Pioli decided to implement some subs in the 63rd minute. We had Rafael Leao come off and Mandzukic replace him, rightfully so, because I think Rafael Leao kind of had a poor game. Very much wasteful with his chances and opportunities. Diogo Dalla saw the pitch, replacing Pierre Kalulu as well. I think Kalulu had a pretty good game. He's been very consistent. I think as of right now, Kalulu is going to be the starter and probably Dalot will feature off the bench. If anything, those two can swap every now and then, but that seems like what's going to be happening. And then we had Brahim Diaz come on to replace Alexis Salmakers. Many people were calling for Hakan Çalhanoğlu to come off because of his poor performance. But I think either way, that really didn't change the game. But with Mandzukic coming onto the pitch, in my preview for Milan Reports, I did mention that having a target man would be quite helpful in this match. And in the 68th minute, there was a corner kick. The ball gets whipped in. I think Mandzukic manages just to get a touch on it, but Scamacca turns his back and that ball deflects off of him and ends up in the back of the net. Own goal for Scamacca. I guess you could say Mandzukic takes the glory for that one. Milan go up 2-1 in the 68th minute. From then on out, it was pretty good. I think Tonali came in about the 70th minute to replace Ismail Benacer. I think that was also a very much needed substitution. And then towards the end of the game, we saw Rade Krunic replace Hakan Çalhanoğlu. The biggest save of the game did not come from Gianluigi Donnarumma, but it actually came from Simon Kjaer and Fikayo Tomori. Donnarumma tries to palm the ball out of the air, absolutely spills it, falls right to a Genoa player. Genoa player takes a shot on goal. Clearly, Donnarumma's not on his line. There's no way he can save it. Simon Kjaer with the first save. Genoa gets the rebound. Fikayo Tomori with the second save. Milan managed to grind their way to victory. I think it was an ugly win, but we managed to win. We got 3 points in a big Serie A weekend. So that's really all that matters. I think Milan was pretty good in the first half. The second half was kind of shaky, especially with the counterattacks. We just didn't look as great. I think these players are showing a bit of lack of consistency, but you can understand because it's a gruesome season and whatnot. So my takeaways: Gigio, pretty average game. Didn't do anything spectacular. Ultimately almost cost Milan a goal. Kalulu had a great game, in my opinion. Fikayo Tomori, good game. He was the reason that we did concede the first goal. Simon Kjaer, arguably my man of the match. Didn't have any mistakes. The goal line clearance was massive as well. So, man of the match in my opinion. Theo Hernandez had a pretty good game despite not being able to score or assist. I think Benacer had an okay game. He looked a bit sloppy. Kessié did a solid job. Nothing more that you can ask from him. Salmakers had a decent game even though he wasn't very much involved in the attack. I think Hakan Çalhanoğlu had a bad game. Arguably missing. Seems like his decision making is still very much hesitant. Some of the balls that he just placed in and the service that he was giving to the players just wasn't the best. You can argue that Hakan was the flop of the match. Rebic had a good game. Very frustrating for him to miss the sitter. I think if he didn't miss the sitter, he probably would have won man of the match if he got 2 goals. But nice on the first goal. That was a beautiful finish. Rafael Leao, same thing, different day. You need more effort from the guy. He needs to be consistent. He needs to be clinical. It's pretty much aware that he's not a striker and he doesn't look as comfortable in that position. He's not a target man either. So Milan were playing a bunch of crosses in the box like Leao was going to get his head onto it. That's not his game. You know, I was thinking that possibly Pioli would start Leao on the left and then put Rebic up top, but that's not what happened. Leao needs to do better. He's a great talent. He's not a finished product, and we're trying to get him to a finished product. Overall, the subs that came in, I think Tonali did decent. He did his job when he came in. He wasn't heavily involved, but he did a pretty decent job. Brahim Diaz did okay. Dalot did well. Can't really make any complaints there. I think Pioli did well with his subs, and he did make the right substitutions at the right time. Overall, a massive 3 points. We have struggled to beat Genoa, and we've been struggling at our home games, and we managed to get a win. So this is a step towards the right direction. You know, 7 more games to go. We have Sassuolo on Wednesday, which will be a big one. These next 2 Serie A match day fixtures are going to be great because everybody in the top 4 race are playing against each other, which means that we can gain points on them. So we need another win against Sassuolo, and we should be good. But that's all I have for you guys. Forza Milan and peace.